guys, welcome to my Silence of the Lambs review. I love this book, and I love, I just realised how much of a nerd I sound. Like, I love this book. I loved the film. It's like gone on to my top 4 letterbox. If you want to follow me on letterbox, I think it's like Coral Queen 17 or Coral 17. I actually don't know. But that I watched the movie first, and I love like a thriller, like, ooh, what's going on. I think my top 4 letterbox is The Shining, no explanation needed. The Shining, Coraline, just reviewed Coraline, Silence of the Lambs, and it used to be Finding Nemo because that was like my favourite like childhood like comfort show, but I actually don't know what. It might still be that. Obviously, did I say this? I think I said this. If I didn't say this, it's this. Sorry, my brain is a bit fucked right now. I just finished A levels, a bit all over the place. Anyway, it's such a good book, and for me as a dyslexic, especially like, wait, what's it called? A non-fiction? No, a fiction. This is a fiction book. I find fiction books hard because, one, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but personally, I like to learn or like learn something about someone. And like I can analyse it, but where it's like, whenever it's like a fake story, so let's say like The Bell Jar, I know it's not a fake story, but it's kind of like loosely based off the truth, but then also kind of like dramatised, like not really her story, then I'm like, I like reading it, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of fake, even though it's kind of true. Like with The Bell Jar as an example, because that's the book I'm reading at the minute. But I find it hard as a dyslexic to read fiction books because it just doesn't like motivate me. The story has to be amazing for me to want to read it, because I know it's like a fake story, if you will, and I'm like, what's the point of reading that? But I'm sure I'm an old biddy and have nothing better to do. I'll read fiction books. I'm looking forward to that. But this was just so good because as a dyslexic, I could watch the movie, and then I was like, I love the movie so much, let me read the book. That it like all clicked because it's so similar. The only difference is, at the end, spoilers by the way, but while you hear, if you haven't like seen the fucking thing, so at the end of the movie he like calls Clarice, but in the book it's like a letter, what I think is like more dramatic, and I also think that works quite well for a book because it's not like he said da da da, she said da da da. It just works better as like a letter. It's just like a dramatic ending. I think for the book it works, but honestly, it's the movie's very faithful to the book, so that means reading the book, it's very easy because if you can recall from the movie, you're gonna know exactly what it is and you can picture it so perfectly because you base the characters off what you already know from the film. Now, I'm sure it'd be difficult to read the book first, then go into the film, because you're like, wait, these characters don't look like anything I imagined, so now I just instantly don't like the film. But whereas I like the film, I could then picture the characters just looking like it. So I read this like all on the bus. It's actually quite a long book. It is 450, roughly, like 500. What's it exactly? 452, not counting the very end where it's like his letter. I don't know if you want to read that. You probably can't, because it's in verse anyway. But yeah, this is like one of the longer books I've read recently. Like, it's one of the bigger boys, apart from The Shining, what I actually am scraping to get through. But because I loved this, I just read it so quickly. Like, I don't know, it just really gripped me. Maybe the fact that I just knew what happened, I didn't have to like read it as slowly. Maybe I read it a lot quicker because I just knew like each bit. And I find the pacing is great in the book. Like, I didn't find myself at like any point being lost or thinking this is dragging or anything. Like, it's very like fast paced and it has a lot to say, yet it does it in like a quick way, in a good way, in a smooth way, not like it's been drawn out. And the book didn't feel like long, even though it's like almost 400 pages long. It was just great, and because I liked it, I got through it really quickly, like within like a few weeks. I was only reading it on the bus actually, so yeah, I don't know. I don't recall like reading it at home in my free time. I just kind of read it on the bus, and I got through it all, and it's amazing. It really sucked me in. Like, I remember like looking forward to the bus ride home because I was like, I want to like get lost in the world of this book. It really like drew me in, because this is what I really like thrillers, kind of like personal stories of like trying to make your way as a girl, like trying to figure out this like thing. Oh, the only thing I would say, what I just remembered, is the main climax of the film when Clarice kills Bill or whatever his name is, like, yeah, I don't know what his name, like Bill something, but when she actually kills him, I thought that bit was kind of underwhelming, because it's like you kind of have this big build up for like more than half of the book, and then it's like, oh, she went there. They had it. I think like the climax of the book was like 2 pages long. Like seriously, like it wasn't like dragging it out. I guess you don't want to. I guess it's like this really small line of you don't want to drag it out, but you also don't want to make it too snappy and quick. But I felt like it was way too quick. Like there's like a little chase scene, then it's like boom, she shoots him, then it's like, oh, he's dead. Then it's like very abruptly moves on, and then I feel like maybe this tiny bit at the end where like he's dead, maybe I got a bit on that bit, not but like that's the only thing I would say. It's not like bad, it's still worth the read. I think for it being the main climax, it should have been like a bit more carefully thought through of what sort of language devices to use, because for me it just felt very like, ah, okay. And I think like, you know, I can't give it too much like discredit, because like it's a book, it's words on a page. How dramatic can you make that? Like it's your imagination at the end of the day doing all the hard work. So if someone else, they might think, wow, it was so exhilarating, whereas me, maybe being in a bus setting, I was just like, oh, that's it, you know, like maybe it's me. I'd love to hear what you guys think on that. But I love this book. I love this book. I'm like such a nerd. I just loved it. What else can I say? That's kind of it. Bye. But I do actually just want to say one more thing. Is I am reading The Shining. That is also Steven Spielberg. I think no, it's not Steven Spielberg. It's fucking. Who's the director? He's like my favourite director. Why am I saying that? I don't know, but the guy who directed it is great. The film is like it's the favourite. I don't even think it's like it is my favourite film, The Shining. Like the cinematography, the setting, the characters, I loved it. So I was like, I have to read the book. Stephen King is the author. It is horrendous, the book. I can't lie. I started the book in year 9. I know this isn't like, I'm going to say this in another video, so sorry about this. Just click off if you don't care. But I'll say it quickly. I started the book in year 9 because I had like a massive crash out. I hated my life. I literally was so depressed. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to start this book. So I started it in year 9. Never finished it. And I have now finished my A-levels. And that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 5 years. And I literally only have like 30 pages left, 40, and I just can't get through the end. And I'm like, the ending should be the best bit, right? It's the bit where he tries to kill them. So I should read it. I am gonna read it. But it has been like the longest book to get through. It's such a big book. The writing is so small and it's so fucking boring. I just can't tell you how boring the book is. Like maybe if I was like older, and I think it would be good if I didn't compare it to The Shining. Like the Shining film is so fucking good compared to that book. If I just read the book and never knew The Shining was like a film, I'd probably like it. I'd be like, yeah, it's decent. But I just really can't get through it. Anyway, that's a rant for another thing. I just wanted to compare how like this is amazing, whereas that, I can't get through it. I don't know if anyone feels the same. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys.